So one of the really great things to come out of this global pandemic is how we are drinking at home. So we're not just drinking out of cans, we're not just drinking out of bottles. I'm going to show you something else that we're drinking out of, which I think is really cool. Hey, welcome back to Views and Brews. I am Brendan, and as you will have noticed, I have a glass, an empty glass in front of me, but I don't have any beer. But what I do have is one of these awesome big but mini kegs, and that's the way these microbreweries around Ireland are responding to this global pandemic. They're finding different ways of packaging their beer, and I think this is just absolutely amazing that we now have beer 5 litres. This one's a 5 litre keg, but there's all sorts of different ones going on now. I've seen mini kegging and mini draft systems being put up on the market now. We're just coming up with ways of getting around this virus and still managing to have a bit of fun and learning new things about beer on the way. And I just think this is brilliant. So my last beer was Trouble Brewing Grafitti IPA, which is awesome. But this time round, I have their Trouble Brewing Grafitti Pale Ale, which is a session pale ale. Okay, so got the old glimmer and I've got the keg. Now I've got to work out how to open this bloody thing. I'll be honest with you, I've actually not used one of these kegs before, so I don't even know what way to tackle it. I do know it does have some instructions on it, and it does say keep cold and consume within 48 hours of opening. I don't know when is the best time to buy one of these kegs, but I would imagine if you're having a barbecue, if you're having friends around, or if you've got 2 or 3 of you drinking beer at the same time and you just want a simple solution, or, comes with this really cool handle on the side. You can just take it anywhere you're going. And once you've taken it out of the fridge, you're sort of on the clock to get it open, really. But there's also a little video on the top. I am just going to quickly turn this over so you can have a look here. There are a few instructions on the top of the keg. I can't really hold it much longer. It says best before September 2020. So I'm wondering now, is this beer repackaged from larger kegs because it's best before September of this year, and these kegs were literally only a brand new idea only a couple of months ago, 3 months ago maximum. I don't know, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and we will see what it says on the top here. So the first thing it tells me to do is to lift up this here, lift it up, hope I don't break this on camera now, and turn it. Okay. And that has released some pressure. How far do I turn it? I don't know. Turn it what? Oh, turn it from 0 to 1. And I can't quite see where 1 is on this. I'm going to turn it this far. I think that I've got it right there. No, I haven't. I think it's supposed to be there. Yeah, it's a quarter turn on the top of it. Looks like it's ready to go. So I've just purged it basically. Oh, and now lift it up. Well, that can't be good. That really can't be good. Because on the top of this, I can see that something was supposed to have lifted up there. So that doesn't seem very cool at all. I'll be back in a minute. Let me see. This is supposed to come up. What is going on here? Here's what I'm going to do. I absolutely had no idea that this was going to happen, obviously. I'm going to try and open this thing. And I'm going to try and get some beer out. What does it say after this is pulled up? Then I should be able to... Oh, you idiot. Okay, so looks like I've pulled this thing off, and I don't know if that's a big deal or not. I'm a little bit worried by that, but let's just see what happens. There's a bit of beer in the top of this, I can see now. And now it says pull out this thing here. So pull what? Pull, turn. Is it that one? What am I doing here? I think it's that one. Pull. What am I doing? I'm pulling it out. Oh, yeah. Okay. That looks cool. Let's get back into shot. Now what does it say to do? So that was a little bit strange doing that for the first time ever, I have to say. Then it just says turn it. So I'm going to pour a pint. Obviously, can I do this on the edge? Not really. Okay, so I had to pause the video a little bit there because I did something really stupid. And I'm just going to tell you exactly what I've just done. So, on the top of this is a little red thing. And it says, it clearly shows you lift it up and you turn it from 0 to 1. I decided I continue to turn it and I snapped it off, which is not what you want to do when you open up your first ever keg of this. That is where it's meant to be there. But I had a nightmare trying to work out what I wasn't supposed to turn this any further. I snapped it off. I've snapped the bloody thing off, right? That's what I've done. So I paused the camera, I paused the video there for a little bit, and I've managed to put it back in and work out. I didn't know what I was doing. I had pliers at one point. I've put it back in, I've pulled out this, and the pressure now doesn't work very well on this, so I've ballsed that up. But if I hold this down, I can turn this. You pull this thing out. It just fits back in there. It probably goes back in actually. It goes all the way back in there. You just pull it out. Once you get out so far, then you give it a twist and the beer comes out. I just need to hold that down, which has ballsed up the video. But anyway, here is the pint that I've poured. I'm going to drink a good wedge of this pint right now. And then I'm going to show you how to pour a pint from this keg, which I obviously don't know how to do. Anyway, cheers, sláinte, all that good stuff. Hope you're enjoying a beer, and got my nice Trouble Brewing glass with my little my pop art on the front of it there. Now they've changed. Now Trouble Brewing have changed their labeling system to this kind of like not pop art. What is that? I don't know what that artwork label is, but I don't know. Maybe I'm nostalgic, but I really enjoyed their original artwork on their bottles, all the Dark Arts Porter and Sabotage and remix, and in actual fact, this one used to have a green hop on it, and I think before that it used to have a picture of Jesus on the front label. Now that's off the top of my head. I'm just thinking that Graffiti Pale Ale started off with some picture of Jesus on the front of it, so I don't know how that went down with the Irish consumers, but anyway, whatever. We've got a pint in the glass finally. I don't know if it's I mean, it seems to be really nicely carbonated, which is really cool from this mini keg. Despite me and my best efforts to completely bugger the keg up, I've still managed to get a pint out of it, so it's idiot proof. Nice carbonation coming up through it. Now this beer itself is only 3.6%, so it's a proper session pale ale, yeah. So I'm glad to see that it's a little bit amber in colour, so there must be some interesting malty sort of notes going on there. I think this beer has Munich and crystal malts in the grain bill, so that will help give it a bit of body that it's probably lacking from only being 3.6%. I took a sip off of it because I got a lot of I got no gas, and then all of a sudden I got it and it absolutely shot out of this thing, and then I had half a head of gas, so I've had to take a sip out of the beer before I've even reviewed it. But anyway, we have a pint in the glass. Head looks nice. Clarity, it's unfiltered, it's where it's meant to be, so a little bit cloudy in there. It's nice and cold. I've had this out the fridge literally 10 minutes before I started the video, and the aromas off of it are really nice. Orange. I believe this beer has Citra and Amarillo in it. I think it's definitely got Amarillo in it. It may have Citra in it as well. But there is that really nice, fresh, bright orange. But also, there's a bit of a malty sort of thing going on. A little bit biscuity, a bit caramel. Yeah. I can tell that the body of this beer, before, I've had a little sip of it, but I can tell the body of this beer is going to be fine, even though it's 3.6%, just because there's a little bit of lacing going on, not much, but you can just tell that there's like a viscosity to the beer. It doesn't feel watery. The head is holding up as well. Anyway, I've waffled on enough. Cheers, Trouble Brewing. I've buggered up your keg. That's completely my fault. I probably should have used the barcode scanner on the front of it, on the top of it, the QR code thing, because it says video. Hello. So if you don't know how to use one of these, there's a short video to show idiots like me how to properly open this system. But the system is really simple. You can even take this thing off. I mean, I haven't tried to take the whole thing off, but you take the whole thing off. You just lift up the red tag, turn it a quarter turn, and then don't touch that bit anymore. Pull this thing out. I actually propped this up a little bit so I am on a box so that I could pour it off the edge here and get a pint out of it. If you do stupidly break off the top thing here, all is not lost. You can put it back on. You can just hold it down while you're pouring your pint and it will work fine. So for dummies like me out there that don't know how to read instructions or watch videos or just slow the whole thing down, yeah, there's always a fix. Anyway, let's have a crack at this one. The one thing I'd be looking at with this beer is 3.6%. Has it got a body? The answer to that is yes, it has. It has great amount of body to it. Absolutely no problem there. Nice mouthfeel. This comes across on like an initial impression as a very easy drinking, tropical, fruity, maybe a bit orangey pale ale. And you do get that, I don't know, maybe it's just perception, but you do get that feeling that you've just got this from a draft system. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's to do with the amount of carbonation or the amount of head that it had on it. The head is, the beer has a decent amount of mouthfeel, but the head makes the beer really creamy. And I like that. And I think that's why I'm getting this draft beer feeling, because you can only get... it's different to getting a bottle conditioned beer as opposed to getting a beer pulled from a pump or a pint draft system. There's just a creaminess in the head that you don't always get when you open a bottle or a can, and I like that. So that's definitely piqued my interest, actually. Flavors. Nice citrus, gentle citrus, but lots of it. Malty, biscuity, very, very, very biscuity beer. A little bit of caramel, a lot of biscuit, a nice bit of citrus, nice bit of tropical, fruity sort of orange sort of twang to it. Very gentle, but decent amounts of flavour and aromas. Absolutely lovely. I can see myself drinking this in 48 hours. There's 10 pints of it there, 3.6%. I'm sure I'm going to get another 2 of these into me in the very near future. Nice beer, decent mouthfeel. That was the thing that I was going to be worried about when I decided to make a video on this beer. What I should have been worried about is how to open the bloody thing. But we have a beer and it's really nice. It's just an enjoyable, not going to set your world on fire kind of pale ale. But if someone rocked up to the party with one of these, you'd happily drink this all evening. In fact, this is a pale ale that I would say you could drink several of, as opposed to having like one IPA that's 6.5% and it's really packed with hop, tropical, dank resinous flavors that makes you think, oh Jesus, that's quite an assault of hops on me. Maybe I'll try another thing now. This is just measured down a bit so that it's more palatable and you could just sit there and enjoy this all evening. I think it's a great little beer. I've had it several times, but I don't think I've had it in the last year. Here's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to, I've got my home brewing weighing scales here. I'm just going to lift this up. I'm going to quickly show you how the beer pours. It's not pouring perfectly because I have buggered the whole system up. But let me turn this here. Hold on now. If I keep that poured down, it's actually pouring just fine. I assume that's how it's meant to pour. And you know what? It's really, and when you turn it on and off, it turns on and off. It's not got a whole bunch of dribbles. Let me just move that out of the way. It's not, it's not dribbling all down the countertop. It turns slightly to the left and it's on. Slightly back up to neutral starting position and it's off. So that's good. Like I said, really nice creamy head on this beer and it's holding. I'm actually really enjoying this. And now that I've had my first pint and a half out of this kegging system, it's making me think that I actually want more of these kegs because they make my decision making of what to drink from the fridge a lot more simplified. Now, if you have this stone cold, the tin is like, it's metal, it's really, really cold. Now, if you have this in the fridge and you're pouring beers from it, it's going to mute the flavors just a tiny bit. So I reckon if I let this warm up, I get even more orangey sort of citrus flavors out of it. But that is one cracking beer. There's that Trouble Brewing glass I was talking about. And perfect pint in it. Anyway, cheers. That's my view on Trouble Brewing Grafitti Session Pale Ale, 3.6%, mini keg. Do they call it a mini keg? I think they do. Anyway, absolutely cracking, very enjoyable. Go get yourself one. Cheers, sláinte, and bye. It's on to the next one.